time is 7:15 p.m. and I would like to call to order the City of Emeryville as successor agency to the Emeryville Redevelopment Agency. At this time, could you please take the roll?
Councilmember Donahue?
Here.
Councilmember Martinez?
Here.
Councilmember Welch?
Here.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Here.
And Mayor Bowders.
Here. Thank you. As I begin this meeting, I would like to state for our record that this meeting is being conducted by teleconference pursuant to newly enacted Bill Assembly Bill 361. The city was previously complying with Brown Act orders issued by the governor, which were aimed at containing the novel coronavirus and expired on September 30th of last year. This new bill gives local agencies the authority to continue to host live and virtual meetings until January 1st, 2024, so long as California is under a governor-declared state of emergency. In order to continue meetings subject to the exemption to the Brown Act, the City Council must make findings by a majority vote every 30 days that the current circumstances have been reconsidered and that the state of emergency continues to impact the ability of members and the public to meet safely in person, or that state and local officials continue to impose and recommend social distancing measures. The City Council, successor agency, and Mesa Board will consider whether to make these findings at least every 30 days until the governor lifts the state of emergency. City Hall is open to the public during regular business hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can visit our city's website for the building and planning counter special hours or to make an appointment. The agenda states that the public may view this meeting and it is being live streamed online and on ETV channel 27. You may provide public comment by submitting an online comment form, which will then be read into the record by our staff. The comment form can be accessed by going to our main website at the City of Emeryville, which is www.emeryville.org. You can click on the council agendas and videos item on the left side, and once there, you'll see an item with a link that says submit an online speaker card. The public also has the option of participating in tonight's meeting via Zoom and may provide public comment during the meeting using the raise your hand feature visible on your screen. If you're joining us by telephone, you may press star and then 9. The Zoom call-in information was provided on the posted agenda, as well as the e-notification and on social media. Okay, moving on to the next item in our agenda is the approval of the agenda. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion by Member Martinez and a second by Member Donahue to approve this agenda. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye. The agenda has been approved. Are there any ex parte communications to report with the redevelopment agency? Okay, seeing none. Now is the time for public comment. Members of the public who wish to comment for an item not on this agenda in the scope of the redevelopment agency will be afforded 3 minutes to do so. Sherry, did we receive any online comment cards?
We did not.
Okay, there are no hands raised at this time. I will close public comment for this meeting and I'll move to the consent calendar. Members, are there any questions or would you like to proceed with the consent calendar? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion by Member Martinez and a second by Member Donahue to approve the consent calendar's items. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the consent calendar has been approved. And that concludes the business of the redevelopment agency. The time is 7:19, Madam Clerk, and I have adjourned this meeting. Give Sherry one moment. Okay, the time is 7:19 p.m. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the City Council of the City of Emeryville. Please note that all members are still present, having just adjourned the redevelopment successor agency meeting. And I have read into the record at the prior meeting that this meeting is being conducted pursuant to provisions that exempt us from the Brown Act under Assembly Bill 361. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve this agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been made by Member Welch and seconded by Member Donahue to approve the agenda. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, thank you. The agenda has been approved. Special orders of the day. We don't have a special order of the day, but we will have some special business of the day later in the meeting. We'll come back to that topic. So let's see, announcements of commission and committee vacancies, Madam Clerk.
No announcement tonight, thank you.
Okay, item 6 is the council member special announcements or reports on meetings attended. Does anybody wish to report on a meeting they've attended on behalf of the city? I will just report with deep gratitude to the elected officials from around Alameda County that this past week I was very humbled and gracious to be elected the chair of the Alameda County Transportation Commission. And so it's the first time the city of Emeryville has held that position, and I look forward to us doing a lot of really good things in the transportation and public works space in the coming 2 years. And other than that, we don't see any other hands. Okay, we will move to number 7, which is the city manager's report. Madam City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing to report this evening.
We are going to have the most expeditious meeting of all time, because when we get to this agenda, you will be surprised at what I'm about to do. Okay, ex parte communications. Are there any members who wish to report communications you've had about any agenda items tonight? I do need to report just a couple items. I have had conversations with, with the ownership of the bank club regarding item 11.1. I've had conversations with the ownership of Rob Ben's Restaurant and Lounge for item 11.2. And I have had conversations with the Alameda County Fire Chief regarding item 12.1. Anybody else? No? Okay. So having concluded ex parte communications, we now move to public comment for this meeting. Members of the public who wish to comment for an item that is not on tonight's agenda or on the consent calendar have the opportunity to do so now using the raise hand feature or pressing star 9. Sherry, did we receive any written comment?
No, we didn't.
And seeing no hands raised, I will conclude public comment and I will move to the consent calendar. Members, are there any questions or comments about items on the consent calendar, which is 10.1 through 10.6 inclusive? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion. Member Donahue.
I just have a comment and congratulations about 10.6 and buying a van that for the senior center that is an EV van, and getting outside funding to do it. Congratulations, staff, on pulling that off, or whoever pulled it off. Thank you.
Staff pulled it off. We want to thank staff, and I want to join on with Member Donahue and thank all the folks who, I believe it included Pedro and some other folks who got that grant and got that vehicle purchased, and that will be a great amenity, and hopefully we will have some more seniors able to take trips in the very near future, but it will be better trips once we get started on that again. Others?
Mr. Mayor, if I could just specifically acknowledge Kim Burrows and her hard work on this. I want to thank her for that. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Kim, we appreciate you and the work you do, and you and Pedro are a great team in community services, and we know everybody who uses the senior center feels that way too. I just have one brief comment, which is it's relegated to the consent calendar because it was something we unanimously agreed to do, but today is the first day of Black History Month, and Black history should be part of what we celebrate in our cities every day of the year. It shouldn't be relegated to 1 month of the year. African Americans have contributed a significant amount of literally sweat and tears to the creation of this country and to developing communities that bring us a wide diaspora of diversity, culture, language, experience, and we are very blessed in the city to have African Americans among our leadership. We have Member Welch among us on the city council. We have Chief Jennings in our police department. We have many dedicated staff across the city. And tonight, I don't want to get too far ahead of item 12.1, but I'm very excited to announce that we have a new fire captain in our city, and it is someone who we are all familiar with. So Captain West is now Chief West. And I want to thank Chief Mcdonald, who will come up here during item 12.1 to speak to us about the fire contract. But I want to thank him and Chief West for their very long-standing commitment to the city. I want to thank outgoing Chief Yoder for his years of service to our community. And I think it's really appropriate that on the first day of February, we will be welcoming our new African-American fire chief. And I think it's great that in a city like ours on item 10.5, we can adopt a standing and continuing resolution to recognize the significance of Black History Month every February. And I have sitting here on my desk the Pan-African flag. And tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning at City Hall, I hope you will join me and Chief Jennings and Alameda County Fire Chief McDonald and our new fire chief here for the city of Emeryville, Chief West, as we will have a flag raising ceremony. It will be very brief, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, I think it would be a significant sign of our commitment to our city and to the diversity that celebrating African American History Month and Black History Month brings to our community. And I would obviously like to welcome anybody else who wishes to comment on the item before I continue with the consent calendar. Nobody? Great, I didn't mean to take all the words. Member Martinez.
Yeah, also not to get ahead of item 12.1, I want to welcome, thank outgoing Chief Yoder and welcome incoming Chief West, and recognize his, as the mayor did, his longstanding commitment to our community. He has invested so much time into the children of Emeryville and really connecting them with our fire service so that they understand that a bright future can lie ahead for them if they have that interest. He is a mentor to hundreds of kids at this point whose lives he has touched, and he's really creating that pipeline, I think, for children in our community to have a future in fire service. So want to thank him for that opportunity that he's created and that relationship that he's really fostered over the years that continues to this day.
Thank you. I couldn't say that better myself. Anybody else? Okay, at this time, I will entertain a motion for the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion made by Member Welch and a second by Member Donahue to approve this consent calendar. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye. Thank you. The consent calendar has been approved. Members, we have 5 items before us that are public hearings tonight. All of them are cabaret licenses. All of them are for entities that have previously had cabaret licenses approved by the city of Emeryville. Captain Oliver Collins is here. He is responsible for answering questions, and he put together the materials that are here in your packet. What I would like to ask members, if there is no objection, I'm going to ask that we waive presentation on items 11.1 through 11.5. And if you have a question or if a member of the public comments on any of these items and you wish to then receive the presentation before a discussion and a vote, we can ask Captain Collins to do that. Is there anybody who objects to my recommendation for process this evening? Okay, seeing none. What we'll do is we'll call each of these in a row because they are separate items. So item 11.1 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Emeryville authorizing the Chief of Police to issue an annual cabaret license to the Bank Club Cafe for the calendar year of 2022. Madam Clerk, have you received any I'm sorry. The time is 7:28 and I would like to open the public hearing. The public hearing is now open. Madam Clerk, have you received any written comment?
I have not.
Okay, is there any member of the public who wishes to comment on the application of the Bank Club Cafe for its 2022 cabaret license? Seeing no hands raised, the public hearing is closed at 7:29 p.m. and I will return to my council colleagues to see if there's discussion. Seeing no discussion, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Member Martinez, second by Member Donahue to approve the resolution for the Bank Club Cafe cabaret license. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the resolution is approved. Item 11.2 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Emeryville authorizing the Chief of Police to issue an annual cabaret license to Rob Ben's Restaurant and Lounge for calendar year 2022. The time is 7:29. I'm calling the public hearing open. Madam Clerk, did we receive any written comment for item 11.2?
We did not.
Okay, I see no hands raised in the audience. The time is 7:30 and I'm closing the public hearing as it relates to item 11.2. Members, is there any discussion or questions for the staff? If not, is there a motion?
Move the resolution.
I heard a motion by Member Welch
Second.
and a second by Member Martinez. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the resolution for Rob Ben's Restaurant is approved. Item 11.3 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Emeryville authorizing the Chief of Police to issue an annual cabaret license to the Emeryville Parcel CFG LLC, known as the Public Market, for calendar year 2022. The time is 7:30 p.m. and I'm calling the public hearing open. Any members of the public who wish to speak on the Public Market's request for a cabaret license? Seeing no hands, Madam Clerk, do we receive any written comment?
None.
Okay, the time is 7:31 and I'm closing the public hearing. Public hearing being closed. Members, is there any discussion or questions for staff? Seeing none, is there anybody who would like to make a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
The motion has been made by Member Donahue and seconded by Member Welch to approve this resolution. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the resolution is approved for the public market. Item 11.4 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Emeryville authorizing the Chief of Police to issue an annual cabaret license to Trader Vic's for calendar year 2022. The time is 7:31. The public hearing is now open. Members of the public who wish to speak on this item will be afforded 3 minutes to do so. Sherry, did we receive any written comment for item 11.4?
We did not.
Okay, I see no hands raised in the audience. The time is still 7:31 and I am closing the public hearing. This time, members, are there questions or comments to staff related to the application for this license? Seeing none, is there anybody who wishes to make a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A motion has been made by Member Martinez and seconded by Member Donahue to approve this resolution. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the resolution is approved, a cabaret license for Trader Vic's. Item 11.5 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Emeryville granting an annual card room license to the Oaks Card Club for calendar year 2022. The time is 7:32. The public hearing is now open. Members of the public who wish to speak have 3 minutes to do so. Sherry, did you receive any written comment for item 11.5?
No written comments.
Okay, I see no hands raised. The time is still 7:32 and I am now closing the public hearing. Staff, questions for staff from members? Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
The motion has been made by Member Donahue and a second by Member Welch to approve this resolution. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the resolution for a card room license at the Oaks Club has been approved. We now move to our action items. Item 12.1 is a resolution of the City Council of the City of Emeryville authorizing the City Manager to execute a second amendment to the agreement between the City of Emeryville and the Alameda County Fire Department regarding fire and emergency services for a term to commence July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2024. I'll turn it over to City Manager Daniels and the staff from the fire department.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the mayor said in his recitation of the resolution title, we are requesting the council's authorization to execute the second and final amendment to the current contract that the city of Emeryville has with the Alameda County Fire Department. As you will recall, the city transferred its fire operations to a partnership with the Alameda County Fire Department in 2018. That first contract lasted through, in 2012, my apologies, in 2012, the first contract had lasted through 2018, at which point the next contract was approved, had the opportunity for two-year extensions. This is the second of those 2-year extensions. The terms and conditions of the agreement between the parties remain the same. I would like to say on behalf of staff that we very much enjoy our working relationship with the Alameda County Fire Department, particularly our relationship in the Community Development Department with the Fire Marshal's Office, as well as all of the firefighters who perform suppression and the folks who help us out with our Development Coordinating Committee. With regard to cost control, we believe that the department has done a good job of maintaining cost control in terms of the cost of providing the service, and you will note the current year's fiscal year 21-22 costs are $7.9 million. As with every year of the contract, they are projected to come in a little bit below their projected budget, and the 22-23 costs increased to $8.2 million. And then for 23-24, the projected costs are about $8.5 million. And the services, the extensive services provided by the Alameda County Fire Department to the city of Emeryville and its residents and businesses are detailed in the staff report. I am joined here tonight by Alameda County Fire Department Chief Willie Mcdonald, as well as the chief who has been serving with us, Dave Yoder. And I believe Chief McDonald has some information to share and was going to make an announcement tonight that's already been made. So I will turn it over to Chief McDonald.
Thank you, Ms. Daniel. Thank you, Ms. Daniel, Mayor Bowders, and members of the Emeryville City Council. I'm Willie McDonald, the Alameda County Fire Chief, and I'm honored to be here tonight. Our relationship with the city of Emeryville is incredible. We have enjoyed serving the residents of the city of Emeryville. Our staff is excited, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve the community. And our folks are very dedicated to making sure that the residents of the city of Emeryville receive the highest level of fire and emergency services, and it's our honor to be able to serve the community. I would like, and I am pleased to announce that Division Chief Randall West has been assigned to the city of Emeryville. We're very excited about it. He's very excited about the relationship for Randall has been incredible with the city of Emeryville, and he's very gracious to want to continue that relationship. He's been an Alameda County firefighter since 2005, firefighter paramedic. He was an engineer in the city of Emeryville from 2013 till 2016, promoted to captain in 2016. And we promoted him to battalion chief because of his leadership skills and abilities in 2020, and very proud to promote him this month to division chief. Well, he'll serve as the Emeryville fire chief and is very glad to be able to do that. He's been quite a member of the community besides his involvement in community outreach and education. He's been involved in back to school drives, Christmas toys collections. Chief is my belief for high schoolers, and he is very much invested in the community and the residents of the city of Emeryville. Very proud to present him and appoint him as the chief at Emeryville, and very proud to be a part of this organization and our partnership with the city of Emeryville. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Chief McDonald. And I'd like to invite our new chief, West, if you would like to say anything. This is an opportunity for you to do so.
Yes, hello everyone. I am very excited. I want to first thank Mayor Bowders and Vice Mayor Martinez, City Manager Daniels, and the rest of the council members for really believing in the dreams that I'd had in the past, and just coming back to the city of Emeryville and be able to continue building the relationships that Chief Yoder has built over the years, and also continue to, represent and recognize Chief McDonald and make sure that, I can be a voice for the city of Emeryville, through the Alameda County Fire Department. Looking forward to working with everyone again and continue building relationships and continue the community service that the men and women in the Alameda County Fire Department has done over so many years. And I guarantee you we will continue and we'll contribute to the city of Emeryville. City of Emeryville is like home to me. This is a place I started in West Oakley when I moved here from Louisiana. So Emeryville was kind of borderline where I would come and just meet folks. I remember met my first firefighter was Captain Sanderson, who was the first African-American captain in the city of Emeryville for the fire department. So all this is very important to me and a lot of motivation. And again, I'm looking forward to working with the community moving here on forward. So thank you again.
Thank you. And before we go to public comment, is there any member who wishes to say anything with respect to either Chief McDonald or Chief West? I'm gonna have a hard time not calling you Captain West. I'm still doing it. I need to break it. So forgive me in advance for all the times I do that incorrectly, because it's just it's too surreal for me to know that you're going to be the fire chief here. So I appreciate you. Any members wish to say anything? No? Okay. Well, we are very excited.
Mayor Bowders?
Yes, of course.
Mayor Bowders, if I could, I also would like to congratulate and thank Chief Dave Yoder for 29 years of incredible service to the fire service and to Alameda County Fire and his service to the city of Emeryville.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dave. Dave, you snuck by. I didn't even know you were retiring. So you did a great job. We're very grateful for you, and hopefully we will still see you around. I hear that it's really hard to leave firework even if you retire. So hopefully we'll still have the pleasure of your presence here in the city as well. Anybody else? Okay, well, thank you both for being here. We'll see you tomorrow morning. It will be a great opportunity for us to really mark a really remarkable moment in our city's history. And I appreciate both of you, all of you actually, for your leadership and commitment to our city. And I just recall the very first time I met Chief West, it was like 7 or 8 years ago now, for a back to school drive. And as a person who's often accused of having a lot of energy, I was immediately smitten by the energy level of Chief West. And so it is a great thing to have somebody who cares so much about young people coming to a position of leadership in our community. All right, at this time I'll entertain public comment. Members of the public who wish to comment on this fire contract will be given 3 minutes of time to do so. Sherry, did we receive any written comment for the fire contract item?
No, we didn't.
Okay, so public comment is now closed. Members, are there any questions or discussion on this contract? It's an extension of an existing contract. Member Martinez?
Oh, I don't want to get ahead of Member Donahue. I'm ready to make a comment and then move the resolution.
Okay, Member Donahue?
Well, I just have a somewhat technical question. Our city is getting more and more biotech as a part of our community. Of course, we're getting more residents. And when Emeryville originally started developing biotech, there was a lot of discussion about what level of research would be acceptable in our city. Would research that had biological toxins that could become airborne be a part of Emeryville's future biotech industries? Issues like this. And I know the fire department has to deal with biotech, not just in our city. Alameda County is, I believe, the fire department for the labs in Berkeley. So my question has to do with how do you keep the general public and everyone in these facilities safe with some of these complex environments? I know there are a lot of issues about fume hoods and things like in effect chimneys for these kinds of issues. So I just would like to know where Alameda County inspects and where other agencies inspection. What determines that line of inspection?
Mayor Bowders, members of the City Council, that really begins with the development of the built-in fire protection and evacuation removal components that are built into buildings during the design phase, and the compartmentalization that is necessary, and limiting the amount of materials that may be available or may be in place within the buildings when it's in use, and to ensure that those systems are adequate in terms of removing the vapors or containing the vapors, and as well that they are maintained in a way that they are able to contain those biotech vapors and components within the systems as appropriate. Annual inspections, and maybe more often than that, more frequent than that, based on the type of research that's being done and the type of chemicals and elements that are being used and the equipment that's being used. And that's really based on what those types of research equipment and tools are and processes are. And so we're built into that. Our inspection personnel are very schooled and experienced in it. But we also have access to experts in the specific types of evacuation, removal, and containment appliances are built into these buildings and these systems. And so we rely on them as well for information and assistance.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Mr.
it.
Mayor, if I could just add one benefit, council member, of the ACFD contract for the city of Emeryville is that ACFD has a fully functioning hazardous materials team. It's a type 1 team. As a benefit of our contract with them, we have access to those superior services.
Thank you. Any other questions, Member Donahue?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Member Martinez?
Yeah, I was going to actually echo what City Manager Daniel just said, that because we have this contract with Alameda County Fire Department, we have access to specialized training and a specialized apparatus that is meant to deal with hazardous waste spills and airborne events as well. So this is something that we wouldn't have if we were just running our own fire department, as we were for many years. But we get very good service from Alameda County Fire, and having served as liaison on the Alameda County Fire Advisory Commission for many years, you know that when we adopt a budget as prescribed by this contract, they're going to come in a couple of percent under, not only on an annual basis, I see it on a quarterly basis. So they're very careful with how they make their expenditures. They're very thoughtful about that whole process. And I think they've been very good partners to us and very transparent with response times, with every way that they've worked with us. So I'm pleased to move the resolution.
Okay, there's a motion made.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion has been made by Member Martinez and seconded by Member Donahue to approve this resolution and contract. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Donahue?
Aye.
Councilmember Martinez?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina?
Aye.
And Mayor Bowders.
Aye, the contract is approved for the next 2-year extension. Thank you to Chief Yoder for your service. Thank you to Chief McDonald for making yourself available to us this evening. And congratulations and thank you to Chief West for your continued service to the fire department and the city of Emeryville.
Very nice. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah,
You're very welcome.
thank you very much.
All right, we'll see all of you later. And we'll move now to item 12.2, which is a report to the City Council of the City of Emeryville of recommendations made by the Parks and Recreation Committee for council consideration. And Madam City Manager, will Pedro be presenting this item tonight?
Believe he's coming on right now.
There he is.
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, Pedro.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight we have a recommendation by the Parks and Recreation Committee for the council to consider recommending traffic calming measures for parks in the city. Since it's not in their purview, they didn't really get into really deep discussions, but they have concerns that they would like to be considered, which include reducing speeds from like 25 to 15 or adding speed bumps to make them safer. So they wanted to ask the council to consider this recommendation. I'd be happy to answer any other questions if you have them.
Okay, thank you. Let's actually just first call for public comment. Members of the public who wish to comment on this item have 3 minutes to do so. Sherry, did we receive comment cards for item 12.2?
No comment cards.
Okay, no hands are raised. Public comment is now closed. Members, do you have questions for Pedro or comments on this item? I'd like to first offer the opportunity to Vice Mayor Medina as Chair of Transportation Committee. She's on.
I'm so sorry. I'm experiencing a brief lag. Let me reset while people make their comments real quick.
Sure, not a problem. Others who wish to make comments?
Mr. Mayor, if I could just add one minor nuance, which is one of the things that Parks and Recreation Committee did discuss was referring the matter to the City Council's Transportation Committee. So I just wanted to highlight that piece.
I was hoping that Vice Mayor would say that as the chair of the committee so that I didn't have to, but I was prepared to do that if no one else did. But thank you. So members,
Sorry. Yeah, I'm back. If I can.
You may.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
That is the comment I was going to make. I just had the lag and just heard the report in rapid speed. So yes, I would love to discuss with the Transportation Committee. And you all sounded like the chipmunks when the audio caught up.
Well, Diana's Alvin, Scott is Simon and Courtney is Theodore, and I'm just here for the fun. So, so what I'm hearing is there's interest from the chair of Transportation Committee as the other member of the Transportation Committee. I would also, these are things that Vice Mayor Medina and I are already working on, and so they're consistent with things that are in the scope and plan for what we're trying to accomplish for people-oriented places in the city. Are there other members who wish to ask questions, or is everyone okay turfing this over to transportation? Yes, I see a thumbs up.
I'm fine with this.
Yes, yes, everybody. Okay, so what we'd like to do is just give staff direction. There's unanimous direction to refer this item to the Transportation Committee, and perhaps on our next meeting agenda, we could just have it as an agenda item to discuss the schedule for how we will take that item up. Okay, great. And if there's anything that the Parks Committee presented beyond what was presented by Pedro this evening, we can take up that question as well. Okay, so that will conclude item 12.2. That moves us to item 13, which is the department head reports. And I would welcome the Community Development Director, Charlie Bryant, to provide us his report.
Thank you, Mayor Bowders and members of the City Council. This is my monthly report on the most recent City Planning Commission meeting. They had 5 items on their agenda, as are listed here on your agenda. I would note that all 7 members of the Planning Commission were present at the meeting. However, various members were recused on various items, which I will report. The first 2 items are public hearings. The first was a duplex conversion on 55th Street. No one was recused on this item, and the commission approved it unanimously, 7-0. The second item was a master sign program for the Emery, formerly known as Sherwin-Williams project. Commissioners Gitzoni and Simons were recused on this item because they own their residences directly across the street. The remaining 5 commissioners approved this application unanimously, 5-0. The other 3 items were study sessions. The first was on the Emeryville Center of Innovation Master Sign Program. Vice Chair Mendez was recused on this item because of a business conflict. The commissioners had a presentation and discussed this proposed master sign program. This item will be coming back to them this month actually, in February for consideration of approval. Next was a study session on the Bay Street grocery store. No one was recused on this item. There was a robust discussion on this, and that will also be coming back this month on February 24th for consideration of approval. And then the last item was a study session on the Christie Avenue mixed-use project. Commissioner Gitzoni was recused on this because of a business conflict, and again, there was a robust discussion about that. I would note that the first 2 items have a 15-day appeal period, which ends next Friday, February 11th. And of course, if the City Council wishes to appeal either of those items to yourselves, this is your opportunity to do so. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you. Member Martinez, questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Charlie, were there any notable comments on the grocery store? I'm particularly curious about any ideas held by the majority of the Planning Commission.
Well, there was discussion about the Bay Street and Ohlone Way intersection, and also particularly about the north ramp to the garage. I believe that the chair did call for a straw poll during the study session, and I believe a majority of the commissioners, I think 4, indicated that they were in favor of removal of that garage ramp.
Okay, thank you, Charlie.
Okay, anyone else with questions for Director Bryant? Does anybody wish to appeal items 13A or 13B to ourselves for further review because we disagree with the Planning Commission? Or wish to disagree for that matter? Nope, seeing none. Okay, so there will be no appeal of those items. Is there any public comment on item 13? Seeing none. Madam City Manager, are there any other department head reports beyond the Planning Director's report tonight?
There are none.
Okay, thank you. So that will conclude, thank you, Charlie. That will conclude item 13. And that will bring us to item 14, future agenda item requests from City Council members. I have one. This evening we had 5 applications at public hearing for Cabaret licenses. And the Emeryville Municipal Code requires that those be approved on a calendar year only basis and that they be approved after having been vetted by the city manager and the police chief and presented to the city council. I would like to ask that majority support referring this process to the Budget and Governance Committee for revision to allow for it to become an administrative process for all applications that are renewals, for allowing it to be non-calendar year periods of time so that people can pay when their business begins and not lose the whole year's worth of money over 3 months of the year, to allow for it to be renewed annually and to only be subject to review by the city council should either the police chief or the city manager recommend it or a council member request it because of resident complaints. If members are okay with that, that is a process that the governance committee would take up to prepare and draft a revised administrative plan proposal. Is everybody okay with that being a new process that we can refer to budget? Okay. So Allie, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's unanimous direction. Yeah. Thank you. That's unanimous direction. So that item will be referred to the budget committee for additional development through the course of this calendar year. Okay. Are there any other items? Okay. Seeing none. The time is 7:56 p.m. and this meeting is adjourned, and I wish all of you a wonderful week and a very happy Black History Month.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Take care. Good night.